Single mom missed her interview to help a stranger. Unaware he was the Mafia boss, her future boss. Subscribe now or this might be our last meeting. Follow, comment, and share to stay connected. Don't miss out. Let's dive in. Emma's hands trembled on the steering wheel as rain hammered her Toyota's windshield. 8:47 a.m. 13 minutes until the interview that could save her life. The highway stretched through New Jersey's industrial corridor. Her daughter Lily's voice echoed, "You're gonna get it, Mom. I know you are." 7 years old and already carrying more hope than any child should. Emma's throat tightened. Bills stacked on their counter. Rent 2 months overdue, Lily's school fees, hospital debt from her ex-husband's final days. This job at Moretti Logistics wasn't just an opportunity. It was oxygen. Then she saw him. A man stood beside a black Escalade, rain-soaking an expensive suit. The vehicle sat at an odd angle, disabled. His dark hair was plastered to his face, tension in his shoulders as he scanned the empty highway. Emma's rational mind screamed to keep driving. Strange man. Isolated road. Single mother. Every true crime podcast said this was how women disappeared, but her father's voice was louder. Emma rose. "You never leave someone stranded." She pulled onto the shoulder. Through the downpour, she watched him turn toward her car, his hand moving toward his jacket. Then he stopped. Their eyes met through the rain. Emma grabbed her phone, making it visible as she stepped out. Cold rain hit her like a slap, soaking her thrift store blazer. "Car trouble?" she called, keeping distance. He studied her. "You could say that." His voice carried New York edges, smooth with gravel underneath. Emma approached the Escalade. The front tire was shredded, rim bent, high-speed impact or sabotage. "Do you have a spare?" "In theory." When he opened the trunk, Emma's breath caught. The spare was there. So was a leather briefcase revealing stacks of cash. Their eyes met over the trunk. "I run a logistics company," he said evenly. "Sometimes cash transactions are necessary." It was probably a lie. She should get in her car and drive away. Instead, she said, "I'll help you change it, but we need to hurry. You have somewhere to be. An interview." 8:53 a.m. One that might not happen now. Then why stop? Emma met his gaze, rain streaming down her face. Because someone needed help. For the first time, he smiled. "What's your name?" "Emma." She didn't give her last name. "And we're wasting time." They worked in silence, Emma's hands finding spaces his couldn't. When she cursed as the wrench slipped, cutting her palm, he was there instantly with Italian silk. "You know your way around cars." "My dad owned a garage. Before..." She stopped. 23 minutes. When Emma checked her phone, 9:11 a.m., 11 minutes late. The man reached for his wallet. Emma stepped back. "I don't want your money." "Most people would." "I'm not most people." "No," he said softly. "You're not." He pulled out a business card, blank except for a phone number in gold. "If you ever need anything, call that number." "The interview. What company?" She hesitated. "Moretti Logistics. Operations manager position." Something crossed his face. "Good luck, Emma." He tapped on her window as she started the car. "The interview you missed. Tell me about it when we meet again." "We're not going to meet again." His smile was knowing, predatory. "Yes, we are." Her phone buzzed. The coordinator. "We've rescheduled for tomorrow, 9 a.m. "Impossible." They'd said today only. Emma looked at the business card and wondered what kind of man could make the impossible happen with a phone call. Why, despite every warning, part of her wanted to see him again. Emma stood at 6:30 a.m. studying dark circles concealer couldn't hide. She hadn't slept. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw him, the stranger with the dangerous smile and trunk full of cash. Lily knocked. "Mom, you're gonna be late again." "Not this time, baby." The rescheduled interview felt wrong, like a chess piece moved by invisible hands, unless someone had made a call. The drive to Moretti Logistics took 45 minutes. The building was impressive. Converted warehouse, exposed brick and steel meeting modern glass. Real money. "Ms. Emma Chen?" They're ready in conference room A. Emma's heels clicked on polished concrete, portfolio clutched tight. None of her preparation included what to say if... She stopped dead. He sat at the table in a charcoal suit, dark hair styled, hands folded. Those same eyes found hers, smile reaching them. "Ms. Chen, thank you for coming. I'm Giovanni Moretti." The room tilted. Moretti. The stranger she'd helped was the CEO. Or maybe the flat tire, rain, convenient rescheduling. Maybe all of it was theater. "Please sit." Two other people flanked him, Patricia Ung, head of operations, and Marcus Chen, HR director. Emma sat, spine straight despite instincts screaming to run. "Your resume is impressive," Patricia said. "But there's a gap. 2 years. Emma had prepared for this. "My husband was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I took time off to care for him and our daughter. He passed 14 months ago." The room went quiet. Giovanni hadn't looked away. "That takes strength." "I did what needed to be done." Emma met his gaze. Just like stopping for someone stranded in the rain. Something sparked in his eyes. "Patricia, Marcus, would you give us a moment?" After they left, silence stretched between them. "You think I staged yesterday?" Giovanni said. "Did you?" Emma countered. "Convenient flat tire on my interview day. Convenient rescheduling." The tire was real. So was the rain. "What I did after, that was calculated. I wanted to see if your kindness extended past yesterday morning. By manipulating me. By giving you an opportunity you earned. This company handles logistics for demanding clients. I need people who can think under pressure, who don't abandon responsibility. You demonstrated both." "I don't understand what's happening." "I'm offering you operations manager. 65,000 annually, full benefits, bonuses. You start Monday." The number made her dizzy. 15,000 more than posted. But nothing came free from men who carried cash in briefcases. "What's the catch?" Giovanni smiled with an edge. "Smart question. This job is demanding. Long hours sometimes. High-pressure clients, and..." He paused. "Complete discretion about operations." There it was. The shadow. Discretion about what? Moretti Logistics moves goods for various clients. Sometimes those clients value privacy, speed over traditional channels. You'd coordinate shipments, manage inventory, ensure schedules. Nothing illegal, he added. But not everything is simple. Emma thought of Lily, the bills, her father's voice. "I need to think about it." "No." Giovanni's response was immediate. "Either you trust what I'm offering is legitimate or walk out now. I don't have time for hesitation." The challenge sparked something in Emma. "You don't know anything about me." "How do you know I won't disappoint?" He leaned forward, intensity in his eyes. "Because I watched you risk your safety for a stranger. You didn't take my money, though you needed it. When you saw what was in my trunk, you didn't run. You finished the job." His voice dropped. "And when I look at you, I see someone who survived worse than anything I could throw at them." Emma's breath caught. "If I say yes, you work for me, directly. You report problems to me first. Keep company business confidential, and never, ever lie to me. Those are my terms. And if the job is illegal, then you quit. I won't stop you." Her name in his mouth sounded dangerous. "I think you'll find this work suits you better than you expect." Lily's face floated in her mind, the stack of bills, the exhaustion of being afraid every day. 65,000, full benefits. I leave by 6 to pick up my daughter. Giovanni's smile was sharp. "Done. Welcome to Moretti Logistics, Ms. Chen." They shook hands. His grip was firm, controlled, lasting a fraction too long. "One more thing. Don't research me. Don't Google my name. What you need to know, I'll tell you. What you find on your own will only complicate things." As she walked to her car, phone already in hand, Emma searched. Giovanni Moretti, Moretti family, New Jersey. Organized crime connections suspected but never proven. Giovanni's father, Salvatore, died in a restaurant shooting 5 years ago. Multiple investigations, 0 convictions. Emma's phone buzzed. "I told you not to look. See you Monday. GM." She looked up at the building's windows, wondering which one he watched from. What had she just agreed to? And why, despite the fear, did part of her feel more alive than she had in years? Monday morning arrived with sunshine that felt like a cosmic joke. Emma stood at her closet at dawn and realized she had nothing appropriate to wear to work for a possible crime boss. The Moretti Logistics parking lot held luxury sedans to work trucks. Emma's Toyota looked like it had wandered in from another decade, but she parked near the entrance anyway. Patricia Ung waited with a badge and an expression that might have been sympathy. "Giovanni's in meetings until 10. I'll orient you." The warehouse was massive, numbered bays, forklifts moving pallets, workers in uniforms checking tablets. It looked legitimate, smelled like cardboard and diesel and honest work. "We handle distribution for 43 regional clients, restaurants, retail chains, specialty goods. Everything logged, tracked, manifested. Giovanni demands it." Emma noticed how Patricia said his first name with careful neutrality. "Your job is coordination. Match incoming with outgoing, manage dispatch, handle complaints. Think of yourself as the central nervous system." Patricia handed her a tablet. "Overwhelming at first, but you'll adapt, or you won't. And if I don't, Giovanni doesn't keep dead weight, but he also doesn't hire mistakes. So figure out which one you are." Emma spent the morning drowning in logistics software, shipping codes, client profiles, complex but sensible. Exactly her previous job, larger scale. Nothing suspicious. At 10:15, her phone buzzed. "Ms. Chen, please come to Mr. Moretti's office." Giovanni stood by the window, phone to his ear, speaking rapid Italian. "Problema, subito, capisce." He hung up, turned. Today's suit was navy, fitted perfectly. "How's your first day?" "Overwhelming. Patricia gave me information to choke on." His mouth quirked. "Patricia believes in trial by fire. You'll survive." He pulled out a folder. "Background check came back clean. You're exactly who you appear to be." "And you? Are you exactly who you appear to be?" Giovanni's eyes darkened. "That depends on the day." He pushed the folder forward. "Your official contract. Read thoroughly. Sign by end of day." Emma scanned clauses. Confidentiality, non-compete, termination. Standard mostly. Then the final page. There's no clause about illegal activities. Most companies include refusing unlawful orders. Most companies aren't run by Morettis. I won't ask you to do anything illegal, Emma. But I won't insult your intelligence by pretending my family name doesn't carry history. Your father was murdered in front of 17 witnesses at Cafe Napoli. The men responsible died in various accidents over the following year. Police investigated. Found nothing. His voice was empty. My father built this from legitimate business. I've kept it that way. But I won't apologize for who I am or where I come from. Why tell me this? Because you Googled me anyway. And because if you work for me, you deserve to know what you're walking into. People will make assumptions. They'll whisper about the Moretti name. What does it mean? Giovanni stood, moving to the window. It means my family came to this country with nothing and built something. It means we protect what's ours. It means... He paused. That loyalty matters more than legality sometimes. Blood runs thicker than paperwork. The honesty was unsettling. Emma joined him at the window. Is this where you tell me I can still walk away? This is where I tell you that door stays open, but I think you're going to stay. You sound certain. I am. Because you need this job, yes, but also because you're curious. You want to know if everything they say about Giovanni Moretti is true. Emma's breath caught. He was too close, too intense. Which one are you? Both, neither. Does it matter? Her phone buzzed. Lily's school. I need to go. Family comes first, always. Emma grabbed her purse when Giovanni's voice stopped her. Emma. He held up Mercedes' keys. Take the company car, faster than your Toyota. I can't. You can. He pressed them into her hand, fingers brushing hers. Take care of your daughter. The drive in a Mercedes felt surreal. Emma made it in 23 minutes. Lily's face lit up, then went wide-eyed at the car. Mom, whose? Work car, baby, just for today. Emma kissed her forehead. Back at Moretti Logistics, the 1 p.m. meeting was underway. Which means the Newark route shifts. Emma. Giovanni turned smoothly. The Castellano account. They're requesting Thursday delivery instead of Friday. Can we accommodate? Emma pulled up her tablet. Castellano. High-priority client. She ran numbers. Yes, but it means bumping the Russo delivery to Saturday. Russo can wait. Castellano's more important. Make it happen. Normal business. But Emma noticed careful language about private clients and special handling. After everyone left, Giovanni remained seated. You did well today. Emma paused. It was just coordination. You made a call about Castellano without hesitation. That's instinct. Most new hires would have asked first, covered their ass. You trusted your judgment. Should I have asked first? No. I hired you to make decisions, not seek permission. Trust yourself, Emma. I already do. That evening, driving home, Lily chattered while Emma's mind spun. The work was legitimate. The company ran clean on paper, but Giovanni's warnings echoed. Assumptions, whispers, loyalty over legality. A text from an unknown number. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. Meet me at Port Newark Terminal. Come alone. GM. This was it, where legitimate business ended and something else began. She should refuse, should remember she was a single mother. Instead, she texted back, I'll be there. Good, don't tell anyone. Not Patricia, not Marcus. Just you and me. Emma stared at her ghostly reflection. She barely recognized the woman looking back. Someone who'd agreed to secret meetings with a man whose father died in a mob hit, who felt something sharp and dangerous when Giovanni Moretti looked at her like she was worth more than she believed. What was she becoming? And why did it feel less like losing herself and more like waking up? Emma woke at 5:30 a.m. to darkness and doubt. Mind churning through scenarios. Drug shipments, money laundering, worse. You're up early, Lily mumbled. Big day at work, baby. Mrs. Patterson's picking you up for school. Lily's eyes narrowed. You never ask Mrs. Patterson unless something's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Emma pulled her daughter close. I just have an early meeting. I'll be home normal time, promise. The drive to Port Newark took 35 minutes. Container ships loomed like metal mountains, air smelling of salt water and diesel. Giovanni had texted, Terminal 7, Gate B, Bay 34. A black SUV sat idling. Giovanni emerged wearing dark jeans and leather jacket instead of his usual suit. He looked younger, more dangerous. You came. You told me to. What are we doing here, Giovanni? He opened her door. I need you to see something. Inside the warehouse, rows of pallets stretched into the distance, each wrapped in opaque plastic. Emma's pulse hammered. This was it. The moment where she discovered what Moretti Logistics really moved. Giovanni stopped beside a pallet, pulled out a knife. Emma's breath hitched, but he just cut through plastic. Inside were boxes marked with Italian labels. Open one. Emma's hand shook as she tore open a box. Inside were bottles, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, canned San Marzano tomatoes. I don't understand. This shipment came in yesterday from my family's region in Italy, Campania. He pulled out wine. My grandmother's village still produces these goods the old way. I import them for specialty Italian restaurants and markets. You thought I'd brought you here to show you drugs, weapons, something illegal. Didn't you? No. He set the wine down. I brought you here because this is what matters to me. This connection to where I came from, to who my family was before America, before the violence. My grandmother's olive oil, real things, honest things. Emma touched a bottle, feeling foolish and relieved. Then why the secrecy? Giovanni moved closer. Because in 2 hours a shipment arrives from the Castellano account. Same terminal, different bay. That one you can't see. That one has security, paperwork that doesn't match contents, clients who pay for discretion. There it was. You're telling me this why? Because I need you to understand the line. Giovanni's eyes held hers. This, he gestured to the Italian goods, is my legitimate business, what I'm proud of, what I want to build. But the other shipments, the Castellanos, they're necessary. They keep the lights on, pay salaries, maintain the relationships that protect everything else. Necessary doesn't mean legal. No, it doesn't, but it means survival in a world where the Moretti name makes banks hesitant. Where I work twice as hard to prove I'm not my father while benefiting from the fear his name carries. What exactly does Castellano ship? Do you really want to know? Because once you know, you're complicit. Right now, you coordinate schedules. You're innocent. After this conversation, you're something else. Her father's voice whispered, walk away from trouble. But another voice asked, what if survival requires compromise? The other morning, when I stopped for you in the rain, you said you were testing me. I was. What was the test? Giovanni smiled sadly. Whether you'd help someone even when it might cost you everything. Whether you were kind or just calculating. You passed. You stopped without knowing who I was, what I could do for you. That's rare. And now? What's this test? This is the opposite. This is me asking if you can look at the gray areas and not run. If you can work for a man whose business isn't entirely clean but isn't entirely dirty. If you can live with contradiction. Emma thought of Lily, the bills, the exhaustion of poverty, her father's garage, taking cash for repairs, no receipt. What happens if I say no? You go back to the office, finish the week, and I'll give you 2 months severance with a glowing recommendation. No questions, no consequences. I meant what I said, the door stays open. And if I say yes? You coordinate all shipments, including the ones we don't discuss. You learn which clients get special handling. You keep your observations confidential. He tilted his head. And you make enough money to give your daughter a better life. The bribe was insultingly obvious and desperately tempting. Emma walked to the warehouse opening, staring at the container yard. The port didn't judge. It just moved things from one place to another. Maybe she could be like that. Neutral. Functional. I need boundaries. I'll coordinate. I'll keep quiet about irregular shipments. But I won't touch anything directly. Won't handle product, meet clients, sign documents I haven't read. Agreed. Giovanni's response was immediate. And if something crosses my line, I walk away. No notice, no explanation required. Agreed. Emma turned. Why me? You could hire someone with fewer morals. Why risk a single mother who might crack? Giovanni closed the distance. Because people with fewer morals can't be trusted. They'll sell you out the moment someone offers more money. But you? You stopped in the rain for a stranger. You chose helping over helping yourself. That kind of character doesn't bend. It either breaks or becomes steel. Which do you think I'll become? Steel. You've already survived worse than anything I'll put you through. The words landed in Emma's chest, recognition and challenge tangled. The Castellano shipment. What time? Giovanni's smile was slow, approving. 8:45, but you won't be here. You'll be at the office looking innocent. He pulled out his phone. I just sent you a revised client list. Names in red require special coordination, routed through me directly. Names in black are standard operations. Emma's phone buzzed. 12 names in red out of 43 clients. 12 compromises. This is really happening. Yes. Giovanni reached out, gently touched her shoulder. The contact burned through her blouse. But Emma, you can still say no. Right now, you can walk away clean. She should. Instead, she met his eyes and said, I'll see you at the office. 3 weeks passed in a rhythm Emma learned to navigate, dropping Lily at school, coordinating shipments, picking up her daughter, homework, and dinner. The red name clients became routine. She scheduled deliveries, routed them through Giovanni, asked no questions. Almost normal, almost comfortable. That should have been her first warning. Thursday afternoon, Marcus from HR appeared, his easy smile replaced by something tighter. Emma, got a minute? He gestured toward the conference room. Her stomach clenched. Inside, Marcus closed the door. I need you to be straight with me. He pulled out his tablet. This Castellano delivery last Tuesday. You logged it as agricultural equipment, but the weight discrepancy is significant. 3,000 pounds more than declared. Emma's mouth went dry. I just coordinate what comes through. The weights are provided by the shipping company, I know. But you're smart, Emma. Have you noticed irregularities with certain accounts? The question was a trap. Emma kept her expression neutral. I notice some clients require more careful handling. Giovanni handles those personally. Giovanni. Marcus repeated the name with frustration or fear. Emma, I like you. You're good at this job, and you've got a kid depending on you. So I'm saying this once. Be careful. There are people watching this company, and if something goes wrong, they won't distinguish between management and staff. People watching? What people? Marcus stood. Just keep your head down and your paperwork clean. He paused at the door. And maybe update your resume, just in case. After he left, Emma sat in the empty room, heart hammering. She texted Giovanni, "We need to talk, now." The response came within seconds. My office, 10 minutes. Giovanni was on the phone when she arrived, speaking angry Italian. He saw her, held up a finger, then snapped something final. Marcus just questioned me about the Castellano weights. He knows something's off. Giovanni's jaw tightened. What did you tell him? That you handle special accounts personally, nothing more. Emma crossed her arms. But he warned me, said people are watching, that I should keep my paperwork clean. People. Giovanni's voice was flat. Did he specify who? No. But Giovanni, what have you gotten me into? Marcus said if something goes wrong, they won't distinguish between management and staff. Giovanni was silent, studying her. Then he moved to the window. 6 months ago, the FBI opened an investigation into several logistics companies suspected of facilitating smuggling operations. Nothing formal, just preliminary surveillance. Emma's legs went weak. She grabbed a chair. The FBI. They have nothing concrete. No evidence, no witnesses, just suspicions based on the Moretti name. Marcus is worried because he's smart enough to recognize patterns but too cautious to confront me. And you didn't think to mention this? Emma's voice rose. I have a daughter, Giovanni. If I get arrested, you won't. He turned, intensity radiating. Emma, listen. You coordinate schedules. That's it. No direct knowledge of contents, no financial involvement, no client contact. Legally, you're insulated. Unless they decide I knew. Unless they find my fingerprints on manifests with weight discrepancies. They won't find anything because there's nothing to find. Giovanni closed the distance, voice dropping to something almost gentle. I told you I'd protect you. I meant it. If the FBI comes knocking, you tell them the truth. You coordinate deliveries based on information provided. You don't inspect shipments, don't question contents, do your job. Emma wanted to believe him. But fear tasted metallic. I should quit, right now, before this gets worse. Yes, Giovanni agreed, surprising her. You should. Walk away, Emma. Take your daughter and disappear into a normal life with a boring job. She waited for the but. It didn't come. That's it? You're just letting me go? I told you the door stays open. I meant that too. I won't trap you here, won't manipulate you. If you want out, take it. Emma stared at him, searching for the angle. She saw only exhaustion and something that might have been regret. What do you want me to do? I want... Giovanni stopped, jaw working. I want you to make the choice that lets you sleep at night. Whether that's staying or leaving, it has to be yours. Her phone buzzed. Lily's school. Ms. Chen, Lily's sick. Fever of 101. You need to come get her. I'm on my way. Emma hung up, already grabbing her purse. I have to. Go. He was moving toward his desk. Take tomorrow off. Spend time with your daughter. Think about what you want. Emma made it to the school in record time, finding Lily pale and listless. She felt small and fragile in Emma's arms, and guilt crashed over her. What was she doing, risking everything for a job that might land her in prison? That night, as Lily slept fitfully, Emma sat in their kitchen staring at her laptop. She pulled up her resume, browsed job listings. Administrative assistant, logistics coordinator, office manager, all legitimate. All safe. All paying $20,000 less than Giovanni offered. The math was simple and brutal. Taking a safe job meant moving to a cheaper apartment, worse school district. Meant telling Lily they couldn't afford dance classes or the class trip. Meant choosing between electricity and groceries. But staying meant complicity. Meant looking over her shoulder for federal agents. Her phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. Emma Chen. We need to talk about your employer. Call this number. A second text. Special Agent Rodriguez, FBI. Emma's hands shook. They knew. They were watching. Marcus had been right. She should call immediately, cooperate. Instead, she texted Giovanni. FBI just contacted me. His response was instant. Don't respond. Don't call. Come to the office tomorrow at 6 a.m. I'll handle this. Emma stared at the two messages. The FBI asking her to call. Giovanni telling her not to. One path led to safety through cooperation. The other led deeper into shadows but promised protection. She set the phone down, checking on Lily, who murmured in her sleep. Her daughter's face was flushed but peaceful, trusting her mother would keep her safe. That trust felt like an anchor and a noose. At 5:30 a.m., Emma left Lily with Mrs. Patterson. The Moretti Logistics parking lot was empty except for Giovanni's Mercedes. Emma found him in his office looking like he hadn't slept. Coffee cups littered his desk alongside legal documents. You came, he said, relief in his voice. I shouldn't have. Emma stayed in the doorway. I should be calling that FBI agent, which is almost nothing. Giovanni gestured to the legal papers. I spent the night with my attorney. If Rodriguez contacts you again, you refer them to this number. He handed her a business card. Anthony Ricci, one of the best criminal defense attorneys in New Jersey. I can't afford. You're not paying. I am. Emma, the FBI is fishing. They contact low-level employees hoping someone panics and talks. You don't panic. Don't talk. Refer them to legal counsel. That's it. Low-level employee. Is that what I am? Legally, yes. Operations coordination. No executive authority. No financial access. Giovanni pulled out a folder, showed her organizational charts. On paper, you're 3 levels removed from anything questionable. That's not an accident. Emma studied the documents, seeing how deliberately the structure insulated her. You planned this. From the beginning, you built in protection. I told you I'd protect you. Did you think I was lying? She didn't know. Emma sank into a chair, exhaustion overwhelming her. What happens now? Now you go home, take care of Lily, and wait. If Rodriguez calls again, you politely decline and provide Ricci's number. If they show up at your home, do the same. You don't answer questions, don't try to help, invoke your right to counsel. That makes me look guilty. It makes you look smart. Giovanni crouched in front of her chair, forcing eye contact. Emma, innocent people go to prison every day because they think cooperation proves innocence. It doesn't. It just gives them ammunition. Speaking from experience, Giovanni's smile was grim. My father taught me early, never talk to cops without a lawyer. It's the one piece of advice that's kept me out of prison. The casual mention of prison sent ice through Emma's veins. This was real. I should take Lily and leave the state. Start over somewhere the Moretti name means nothing. You could. Giovanni stood, moving back to his desk. I'd give you enough money to resettle comfortably. You'd be safe, anonymous, free of all this. Emma waited for the manipulation. It didn't come. Why aren't you fighting harder to keep me here? Giovanni was silent, staring at something on his desk. When he looked up, his expression was raw. Because keeping you here is selfish. Because every day you work for me, you risk everything. Because... He stopped, jaw tightening. Because I've spent my whole life surrounded by people who stay out of fear or obligation. I don't want that from you. What do you want from me? The question hung between them, heavy with implications neither was ready to name. I want... Giovanni's phone shattered the moment. He checked it, cursed in Italian. There's a situation at the port. I have to go. He grabbed his jacket, moving toward the door. Then he paused, turned back. Emma, whatever you decide, staying, leaving, calling Rodriguez, I'll support it. But decide today. Don't let fear make the choice for you. After he left, Emma sat alone as dawn light filtered through the windows. She pulled out her phone, stared at Agent Rodriguez's number. One call. That's all it would take to step back into the light. But something Giovanni said echoed. I've spent my whole life surrounded by people who stay out of fear or obligation. Emma didn't want to be someone who stayed out of fear. But she also didn't want to stay out of foolish loyalty. She wanted to be someone who made choices for the right reasons. Her phone buzzed. Not Rodriguez. Patricia, if you're smart, you'll be gone before lunch. This ship is sinking. Emma stared at the message, then at the warehouse floor below where workers arrived for morning shift, oblivious to FBI investigations and federal charges. She thought of Lily asking what her mother did for work, thought of her father's garage and the cash repairs, thought of Giovanni's olive oil from his grandmother's village and his certainty that Emma would become steel instead of breaking. And she thought about the fact that in 3 weeks she'd seen nothing violent, nothing evil, just gray areas and compromises, people trying to survive. Emma made her decision. She texted Giovanni, I'm not calling Rodriguez, I'm not leaving, but you owe me the truth, all of it. No more protection through ignorance. His response took 3 minutes. Tonight. My place. I'll tell you everything. Address follows. She was going to Giovanni Moretti's home. She was demanding the full truth. She was choosing the dangerous path with eyes open. And God help her. Part of her was thrilled by the choice. Emma stood outside Giovanni's address at 7:47 p.m. Lily safely at Mrs. Patterson's. The house wasn't what she expected, just a restored brownstone on a tree-lined street where porch lights glowed warm. She'd changed clothes 3 times, telling herself this wasn't a date even as she applied lipstick she normally saved for special occasions. Giovanni opened the door in dark jeans and a fitted black Henley. His hair was slightly damp like he'd just showered. You came. You promised answers. I'm holding you to it. The interior was surprising. Exposed brick, hardwood floors, bookshelves crammed with books. Framed photos showed a younger Giovanni with older people she assumed were his parents. Wine? Giovanni asked, already moving toward the kitchen. I'm driving. 1 glass won't hurt, and you'll want it for this conversation. He poured without waiting, handed her one. Sit, please. Emma perched on the leather sofa. Giovanni took the chair across, giving her room. Where do you want me to start? The beginning. Your father. The restaurant shooting. All of it. Giovanni took a long drink. My father was Salvatore Moretti. He came to New Jersey in 1982 with $40. Started as a dock worker at Port Newark. His voice was measured. He was smart, though. Noticed how things moved through the port, legal and otherwise. Started doing favors, connecting buyers with sellers, taking a small cut. Nothing violent at first, just logistics. At first, Emma repeated. At first. By the time I was born, he'd built Moretti Logistics into something real. Legitimate contracts, proper licensing, employees. But the old connections remained. The men who'd helped him, they expected loyalty. The mob, Emma said flatly. We don't use that word in my family. We say associates or business partners, but yes. My father did work for organized crime families, moved shipments they couldn't move through legitimate channels. In exchange, they protected his business, made sure competitors stayed away, helped him expand. Emma sipped wine, tasting expensive oak and forbidden fruit. So you grew up in it. I grew up knowing my father had 2 faces. The man who coached my little league and made Sunday dinners sacred, and the man who took meetings in back rooms where people spoke in code. Giovanni's jaw tightened. I thought the legitimate side could eventually swallow the rest. What changed? Cafe Napoli, May 14, 2020. My father was having dinner with Antonio Castellano discussing a shipping dispute. 2 men walked in with guns. 17 bullets. My father took 6 of them. Emma's breath caught. The shooters were never caught. But everyone knew it was the Russo family. Territory dispute, old grudges. Police investigated for 6 months. Found nothing. The Russos who might have ordered it died in various accidents. Car crashes, heart attacks, a house fire. You killed them, Emma said quietly. Giovanni met her eyes. I didn't pull triggers, but I made phone calls, had conversations, made it known that killing Salvatore Moretti came with a price. He paused. Does that make me a murderer? The question wasn't rhetorical. He genuinely wanted her answer. I don't know, Emma admitted. I think it makes you your father's son. Something flickered in Giovanni's expression. Pain, maybe recognition. After he died, I had a choice. Walk away, let the business collapse, or step into his shoes. The legitimate side was profitable enough to survive, but walking away meant losing protection, meant competitors would move in, potential violence against remaining family. So you stayed. I stayed, but I made rules. Giovanni leaned forward, intensity radiating. No drugs, ever. No weapons. No human trafficking. Nothing that directly harms innocent people. The shipments for Castellano and others. Luxury goods avoiding tariffs, electronics bypassing import taxes, designer items for rich people who don't want to pay retail. Illegal, yes. Violent, no. Emma processed this. And the FBI? They've been watching since my father's death, waiting for mistakes. But I'm careful, Emma. Everything is layered, compartmentalized. People who know about special shipments don't handle paperwork. People who handle paperwork don't see contents. You coordinate schedules without knowing what you're scheduling. Plausible deniability, Emma said. Protection, Giovanni corrected. For you, for Patricia, for Marcus, for everyone who works an honest day. Emma stood, moving to the window. Normal houses, normal lives. Why are you telling me this? Why not just let me stay ignorant? Because you asked for truth. Because I'm tired of everyone knowing half stories and living in fear. Giovanni's voice softened. And because I trust you. She turned. You barely know me. I know you stopped in the rain. I know you protect your daughter fiercely. I know you demand honesty even when lies would be easier. Giovanni stood, moving closer but not touching. I know you haven't run yet, even though you should have a dozen times. Maybe I'm just desperate. You're many things, Emma Chen. Desperate isn't one of them. The way he said her name, careful, like something precious, made her chest tighten. She shouldn't be here, shouldn't be alone with him, drinking his wine, listening to confessions that made her complicit. I need to know one more thing. The truth, no deflection. Are you dangerous? Giovanni held her gaze. Yes. The honesty was more frightening than any lie. To me? Never. The word was immediate, fierce. To you and Lily, I would burn the world before I let harm reach you. That's not reassuring. That's terrifying. I know. Giovanni's smile was sad. I don't know how to be anything else. My father taught me to protect what's mine with everything I have. You work for me now. That makes you mine to protect. I'm not yours, Emma said, but the words came out uncertain. Aren't you? Giovanni moved closer, close enough that she could feel his heat. You stayed when you should have left. You demanded truth instead of running. You're here, in my home, asking questions that could destroy us both. Emma's heart hammered. This is a mistake. Probably. Giovanni's hand lifted, hesitating near her face. Tell me to stop. She should. Instead, she whispered, What happens if I don't? His thumb brushed her cheek, featherlight, questioning. Then I kiss you, and we both cross a line we can't uncross. Emma's breath caught. Every rational thought screamed at her to leave. But her body leaned into his touch anyway, pulled by something stronger than logic. I have a daughter, she said, one last attempt at sanity. I know. If this goes wrong, it won't. Giovanni's other hand cupped her face now, gentle despite the calluses. I won't let it. You can't promise that. No, he agreed. But I can promise I'll fight like hell to keep you both safe. Emma closed her eyes, feeling the moment balance on a knife's edge. Then she made her choice. Reckless, dangerous, inevitable. She kissed him. Giovanni froze for a heartbeat, like he hadn't expected her to bridge the gap. Then his arms wrapped around her, pulling her close as the kiss deepened into something desperate and claiming. He tasted like wine and danger, and Emma couldn't remember the last time she'd felt this alive. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Giovanni's forehead rested against hers. This complicates everything. I know. Emma's hands were fisted in his shirt. I should go. Yes. But his arms didn't release her. Emma? Her phone shattered the moment, buzzing insistently. Mrs. Patterson's number. Emma's stomach dropped. Hello? Emma, dear, I'm so sorry to call, but Lily woke up crying. She wants her mother. I think the fever's back. I'm on my way. Emma pulled away from Giovanni, already grabbing her purse. I have to go. Giovanni's voice was rough. Text me when she's okay. Emma made it to the door before turning back. We'll talk about it Monday. Take care of your daughter. That's what matters. The drive took 12 minutes that felt like hours. Emma's lips still tingled from the kiss, her body still hummed with the memory of Giovanni's arms. She'd crossed a line, multiple lines. She'd kissed her boss, her possibly criminal boss, the man who'd just confessed to orchestrating revenge killings, and she wanted to do it again. Lily was curled on Mrs. Patterson's couch, pale and feverish, clutching her stuffed rabbit. When she saw Emma, tears spilled over. Mommy. Emma gathered her daughter close, breathing in her familiar strawberry shampoo. I've got you, baby. Let's get you home. Back at their apartment, Emma gave Lily medicine and cool water, tucked her into bed with fresh sheets. As her daughter drifted to sleep, tiny hand clutching Emma's, the weight of the evening crashed over her. She'd demanded truth from Giovanni and gotten more than she bargained for. His father's murder, revenge killings, FBI surveillance, and beneath it all, his fierce protection of what he considered his. You work for me now. That makes you mine to protect. The possessiveness should have terrified her. Instead, it had made her kiss him. Emma's phone buzzed quietly. Giovanni. Is Lily okay? Fever's down. She's sleeping. And you? Are you okay? Emma stared at the question. Was she okay? She just kissed a man with blood on his hands. She was coordinating potentially illegal shipments while the FBI circled. She was lying to her daughter. No, she wasn't okay. But she also felt more alive than she had since her husband died. More purposeful than years of just surviving. I don't know. Ask me Monday. Emma, what happened tonight? Was a mistake. We both know it. The typing indicator appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Was it? Emma's thumb hovered. She could end this now. Draw a line. Retreat. Instead, she typed, I don't know. That's the problem. Then we'll figure it out together. Sleep well, Emma. She set the phone down, checked Lily, then moved to her own bed, but sleep didn't come. Her mind replayed the evening, Giovanni's confessions, the heat in his eyes when she kissed him, the way her body had responded like it was coming home. She'd spent 2 years since her husband's death just surviving, numb, functional, safe. Giovanni Moretti was the opposite of safe. He was dangerous and complicated and wrapped in shadows that could destroy her. But he also saw her, really saw her, in a way no one had since David died. Saw the survivor underneath the single mother struggling. Saw strength instead of desperation. And God help her, Emma wanted to be seen. Wanted to be more than just someone's mother, someone's employee, someone barely keeping their head above water. Wanted to be the woman who'd kissed Giovanni Moretti and felt like she could breathe again. By the time dawn broke, Emma had made her decision. She was staying, not out of desperation or manipulation, but because something in Giovanni's world called to her. The challenge of it, the complexity, the way it made her feel capable instead of just surviving. She was staying, even knowing it could destroy everything. Because for the first time in 2 years, she felt like herself again. Even if that self was someone she didn't entirely recognize. Monday morning arrived with unseasonable cold, frost-coating Emma's windshield like a warning. Lily was fully recovered, chattering about her weekend as Emma braided her hair. Normal. They were normal people doing normal things. The lie felt heavier than usual. At the office, Patricia intercepted Emma. "Conference room, now, everyone." The operations team filed in with nervous energy. Giovanni stood at the head of the table, Marcus beside him with a laptop, both wearing expressions that made Emma's stomach clench. "Thank you for coming early. I'll get straight to it. This morning, federal agents executed a search warrant at our Port Newark facility. They're reviewing records for the past 18 months. The room erupted in worried murmurs. Emma's hands went cold. Giovanni raised a hand for silence. "Moretti Logistics operates legally. We have nothing to hide. However, I understand this is concerning. If any of you are contacted by federal agents, you're not required to speak without legal representation. The company will provide attorneys at no cost to any employee who needs one." Patricia spoke up. "What are they looking for?" "Evidence of smuggling operations." Marcus pulled up a document. "Specifically, they're investigating whether we've been facilitating the movement of untaxed luxury goods and electronics." The room went silent. Emma felt everyone carefully not looking at each other. "Are we?" Tommy from dispatch asked. "Are we moving illegal stuff?" Giovanni's expression didn't change. "We move what clients ship. We don't inspect contents beyond basic safety protocols. If a client declares a shipment as one thing and it's actually another, that's customs fraud on their end, not ours." The answer was technically true and completely evasive. "What happens now?" Patricia asked. "Now we cooperate fully while maintaining operations. Business as usual. Document everything, follow protocols precisely, and if you have concerns, bring them to me directly." After the meeting, Emma returned to her desk on shaky legs. Her monitor showed 3 red-name clients with deliveries this week. Her phone buzzed. "Giovanni. My office. Please." Inside his office, Giovanni stood by the window, hands in pockets. "Close the door." She did, then waited. "They have nothing. The warrant is a fishing expedition. They're hoping to scare someone into talking." Marcus seemed genuinely worried. Marcus should be worried. His brother-in-law works for the U.S. Attorney's Office. He knows how these investigations work. Giovanni turned. "Emma, I need to know you're solid. Solid. That you won't panic if they contact you. That you'll do exactly what I said. Refer them to legal counsel. Answer nothing without an attorney." Emma crossed her arms. "You mean you need to know I won't turn on you?" "Yes. That's exactly what I need to know." She studied him, this man she'd kissed 3 days ago. "And if I said I wasn't solid? If I said I was thinking about cooperating?" Giovanni's jaw tightened. "Then I'd remind you that cooperation doesn't equal protection. It just makes you a witness they'll squeeze until you give them what they want, regardless of truth." Before she could respond, Marcus burst in. "Giovanni, we have a problem." "Big problem." They followed Marcus to the warehouse floor, where 2 federal agents in windbreakers stood beside a pallet marked for Castellano delivery. Patricia stood nearby, arms crossed. "Mr. Moretti," the taller agent said, showing his badge. "Special Agent Rodriguez, we'd like to inspect this shipment." Emma's blood turned to ice. Rodriguez, the same agent who'd texted her. Giovanni's expression remained neutral. "Do you have a warrant for this facility?" "We have a warrant for your Port Newark location. This shipment originated there." Rodriguez gestured to the pallet. "We can do this easy or hard." "Easy then. Patricia, please provide whatever documentation Agent Rodriguez requires, though I'm sure you'll find everything in order." Rodriguez nodded to his partner, who produced a knife and began cutting through plastic. Emma's heart hammered as boxes emerged, unmarked, anonymous. The agent opened one. Inside were leather handbags, designer logos stamped on dust bags. "Luxury goods," Rodriguez observed. "Shipped from where?" "Italy," Patricia said stiffly, pulling up records. "Legitimate imports, all documented." Rodriguez examined a handbag, checking the serial number against his phone. His expression shifted. Disappointment, maybe frustration. "These are authentic, properly imported. As I said, everything's in order." Giovanni's smile didn't reach his eyes. "Is there anything else?" Rodriguez turned to Emma, recognition flickering. Ms. Chen, correct? We texted you last week. Every eye turned to her. Emma felt Giovanni stiffen beside her. You should speak with my attorney, Emma said, voice steadier than she felt. She pulled out the card Giovanni had given her. Anthony Ricci. All communications go through him. Rodriguez's eyebrow lifted. Most innocent employees don't lawyer up immediately. Most innocent employees don't get harassed by federal agents at their workplace. Emma shot back. I coordinate schedules. I don't inspect cargo. I don't determine contents. If you have questions about my job responsibilities, Mr. Ricci can explain them. Something like approval flickered in Giovanni's eyes. Rodriguez tucked away his notepad. We'll be in touch, Ms. Chen and Mr. Moretti. This investigation is ongoing. They always have been, Agent Rodriguez. Feel free to inspect anything. We have nothing to hide. After the agents left, Patricia muttered, That was too close. That was theater, Giovanni corrected. They wanted to rattle us. He looked at Emma. You handled that well. I did what you told me. Emma's voice shook. But Giovanni, if those handbags hadn't been legitimate, they always are. The Castellano shipments that pass through regular channels are completely legal. That's the point. Everything visible is clean. And the invisible parts? Giovanni's expression hardened. Conference room, senior staff only, now. 5 minutes later, Emma sat beside Patricia and Marcus while Giovanni paced. The FBI is escalating. That visit wasn't random. They're putting pressure on, hoping someone cracks. So what do we do? Patricia asked. We suspend all special shipments until the investigation cools down. Giovanni's jaw tightened. Red name clients get notified we're experiencing operational delays. Everything goes through standard channels, full documentation, nothing questionable. Marcus exhaled in relief. That's smart. It also costs us approximately 40% of revenue, Giovanni said flatly. Which means no bonuses this quarter, possible staff reductions next quarter if this drags on. Emma's stomach sank. How long? Patricia asked. Until the investigation concludes or shifts focus. Could be months. Giovanni looked at each of them. I need to know you're with me. All of you. I'm in, Patricia said immediately. 20 years with this company. I'm not walking away now. Marcus hesitated, then nodded. I'm in. They both looked at Emma. I'm in, she heard herself say. But I need a promise, Giovanni. If this goes south, if charges get filed, my daughter comes first. You help me protect Lily, whatever that takes. Done? His response was immediate. I give you my word. If things go bad, I get you and Lily somewhere safe before anything touches you. That evening, Emma picked up Lily from after-school care. They grabbed a drive-through burgers and ate at their tiny kitchen table. Mom? Lily asked. Why do you look sad? Emma forced a smile. Just a long day at work, baby. Is your boss mean? No, he's not mean. Emma thought about Giovanni's fierce promise. He's actually very protective of the people who work for him. Later, as Lily slept, Emma's phone buzzed. Giovanni, you did good today. Thank you for standing with me. Emma stared at the message, then typed, What happens if they find something? If someone talks, then we deal with it, together. You can't promise to protect everyone, Giovanni. No. But I can promise to protect you, and I will. Whatever it takes. The certainty should have comforted her. Instead, Emma felt the trap closing. His need to protect what was his. Her growing dependence on that protection. The dangerous intimacy building. I should quit. Before this gets worse. Giovanni's response was immediate. Yes, you should. Doors still open. Emma waited for more, for manipulation, pressure. But nothing else came. Just the acknowledgement that she could leave, should leave, which somehow made her want to stay even more. Why aren't you fighting to keep me here? Because you're not mine to keep. You're yours. I can only hope you choose to stay. The honesty was devastating. Emma set down her phone, pressed her palms against her eyes. She'd spent 2 years since David's death being strong, practical, making smart choices for Lily. Every instinct said walking away from Giovanni Moretti was the smart choice. But her heart, that traitorous, hungry thing she'd thought died with her husband, was making different arguments. At midnight, unable to sleep, Emma made a decision. She texted Giovanni, "I'm staying. Not because I have to, because I choose to." His response lit up her screen instantly. Why? Emma typed and deleted 3 responses before settling on truth. "Because you see me, the real me, not just the struggling single mother, and I haven't felt seen in a very long time." The typing indicator appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally, "Emma, this is dangerous for more reasons than the FBI. I know. We can't. I know that too. But I'm staying anyway. We'll figure out the rest." A long pause. Then, "Okay, we'll figure it out. Sleep well, Emma." But sleep didn't come. Emma lay awake, knowing she'd just committed to something far more complicated than coordinating shipments. She'd committed to Giovanni Moretti, dangerous, protective, wrapped in shadows and possibilities. And God help her, she wanted to see where this impossible thing led. Even if it led straight to ruin, because ruin with him felt more alive than safety without him. The investigation stretched into its 3rd week. FBI agents became regular fixtures, their presence a constant reminder that one wrong move could bring everything down. Giovanni suspended all red name shipments, and the financial strain showed in tightened budgets and worried faces. Emma coordinated legitimate deliveries with meticulous precision, knowing every manifest might end up as evidence. But underneath ran a different current. The unresolved tension between her and Giovanni, growing stronger with each carefully professional interaction. They hadn't been alone together since that night at his house, hadn't discussed the kiss or her midnight text. Instead, they maintained perfect professionalism that fooled no one, especially not Patricia. "You're playing with fire," Patricia said during a coffee break. "I've worked for the Moretti family for 20 years. I've seen what happens when people get too close." Emma kept her eyes on her tablet. "I don't know what you mean." "Yes, you do. Giovanni looks at you like you're oxygen, and you look at him like he's the answer to prayers you haven't said yet. It's dangerous, Emma, for both of you." Before Emma could respond, her phone rang. Lily's school. Again. "Ms. Chen, I'm afraid Lily's had an incident. She pushed another student during recess. We need you to come in." Emma's stomach dropped. Lily didn't push. She was gentle, careful, the kid who cried over injured butterflies. She found Giovanni in his office. When he saw her expression, he cut his conversation short. "What's wrong?" "Lily's school. I have to go." "Take the rest of the day. Family emergency. Go." Emma made it to the school in 23 minutes. The principal's office felt like a courtroom, her daughter small and defiant in a chair too big for her. Lily pushed Sarah Turner off the swings, Principal Morrison explained. "Sarah has a bruised elbow." Emma looked at her daughter. "Lily, what happened?" Lily's jaw was set, tears threatening but held back by sheer will. "Sarah said my mom works for criminals. Said everyone knows Moretti Logistics is a mob company and you're probably a criminal too." The words hit Emma like physical blows. This was what she'd feared, the reputation bleeding into Lily's world. "So you pushed her?" "She said you were going to jail." Lily's voice cracked. "She said I'd end up in foster care because my mom's a criminal. So I pushed her." Principal Morrison's expression softened. "Ms. Chen, I understand Lily was defending you, but physical violence is never acceptable. She'll be suspended for 2 days." Emma nodded numbly. In the car, Lily finally cried, huge, gulping sobs. Emma pulled into a parking lot, gathered her daughter into her arms. "Sarah's wrong, baby. I'm not a criminal." "But she said, everyone at school is talking about it. About how the FBI was at your work. About the Moretti family and bad things." Emma's chest tightened. "Listen to me. My boss's family has a complicated history. Some of it's true, some of it's gossip. But I coordinate deliveries. That's all. I'm not doing anything wrong. Promise?" Lily's eyes were desperate. Emma thought about the red-name clients, Giovanni's confessions. "I promise I'm doing my best to take care of us." It wasn't quite a lie. But it wasn't quite truth either. That evening, Emma texted Giovanni, "Need to talk, not work stuff, personal." His response, "My place." 8 p.m. "I'll order dinner." Emma arranged for Mrs. Patterson to stay with Lily. The drive to Montclair felt different, purposeful, inevitable. Giovanni answered the door in jeans and a worn sweater. "Come in," I ordered Italian. Inside, the dining table was set with real plates, cloth napkins, wine already breathing. It looked domestic, intimate, dangerous. "What happened?" Giovanni asked as they sat. Emma explained about Lily, the pushing incident, Sarah Turner's accusations. With each word, Giovanni's expression grew darker. "I'm sorry, this is my fault. The investigation, the attention, it's bleeding into your life." "It's not your fault, kids gossip." Emma took a long drink of wine. "But Giovanni, I can't have Lily targeted at school. Can't have her defending me against accusations I can't fully deny." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying maybe Patricia's right. Maybe this—" She gestured between them. "Whatever this is, it's too dangerous. For Lily, for me, for you." Giovanni set down his fork carefully. "You're ending this before it's really started." "There is no this," Emma said, hating how the words tasted. "We kissed once. We've been professional since." "Maybe that's how it should stay." "Is that what you want? Professional distance? Pretending there's nothing between us?" "I want my daughter to be safe." Emma's voice rose. "I want her to go to school without being called a criminal's kid." "You want normal," Giovanni finished quietly. "Safety, predictability, things I can't give you." "It's not about what I want. It's about what Lily needs." Giovanni stood, moving to the window. "When I was 10, kids called my father a mobster. Called me mob spawn. I got in fights defending him." He turned to face her. "My mother said I had two choices. I could be ashamed of my family and spend my life running from the name, or I could decide who Giovanni Moretti was going to be and make that the story people told. Lily's 7. She shouldn't have to make that choice." "No, she shouldn't. But she might have to anyway, because you work for me and I won't apologize for who I am." Giovanni's voice gentled. "Emma, I can't make this easy for you. Can't promise the scrutiny will stop, but I can promise that if you stay, if we explore whatever this is, I'll protect you both with everything I have." "That's not enough," Emma whispered. "I know." He moved closer, stopping just within reach. "But it's all I can offer. Protection, honesty, and the truth that I haven't felt this way about anyone since—" He stopped, jaw working. "Since ever. You make me want things I convinced myself weren't possible." Emma's breath caught. "Giovanni, I'm falling for you, Emma. Have been since you stopped in the rain." His confession was raw, unguarded. "I know it's selfish. Know I should let you go, but I can't make myself do it." The honesty devastated her. Emma stood, closing the distance. "This is impossible." "Yes. We'll hurt each other. Probably. I have to put Lily first, always." "I know." Giovanni's hand lifted to her face, thumb brushing her cheek. "So tell me to stop. Tell me you want professional distance and I'll give it to you." Emma looked up at him, this dangerous man offering protection and honesty. She thought about Lily's tears, about the simple life slipping away. She thought about doing the smart thing, the safe thing. Then she thought about feeling alive, about being seen. "I can't," she whispered. "I should, but I can't." Giovanni's eyes darkened. "Emma." She kissed him, cutting off whatever warning was coming. His arms wrapped around her immediately, pulling her close as the kiss deepened into something desperate and claiming. They broke apart, breathing hard, foreheads pressed together. "This is a terrible idea," Emma said against his lips. "The worst," Giovanni agreed, then kissed her again. This time was different, less tentative, more hungry. Giovanni's hand slid into her hair, angling her head for better access, and Emma's fingers fisted in his sweater, pulling him closer. When they finally separated, both were shaking. "We should slow down." Giovanni said, voice rough. Probably. Emma's hands didn't release him. Are we going to? No. He kissed her temple, her cheek, the corner of her mouth. But Emma, I need you to be sure. Once we cross this line, there's no going back. You'll be mine in ways that have nothing to do with employment. The possessiveness should have scared her. Instead, it sent heat pooling low in her stomach. And you'll be mine? I've been yours since the rain. Just been waiting for you to catch up. Emma pulled back enough to meet his eyes. I'm not easy, Giovanni. I come with a 7-year-old daughter, debt, complications. Good. His smile was fierce. I don't want simple. I want you. Complicated, fierce, protecting your daughter like a lioness. I want all of it. You're insane, Emma said, but she was smiling. Probably. Giovanni kissed her again, softer. But I'm yours if you'll have me. Emma thought about Lily, about the risks, thought about her father's voice telling her to walk away, thought about every rational reason this was wrong. Then she thought about how Giovanni made her feel, seen, valued, alive, and made her choice. Okay, she whispered. But Lily comes first. Always. If this gets too dangerous for her, I walk. No arguments. Agreed. Giovanni's relief was palpable. Anything else? We take this slow. No introducing you to Lily until we're sure this is real. No public displays at work. And you promise to tell me when things get too dangerous. Done. Giovanni sealed each promise with a kiss. Though I should warn you, Emma Chen, I'm terrible at taking things slow. Emma laughed despite everything. Then you'll have to learn. They ate dinner at the table, talking about everything except work. Lily's love of butterflies, Giovanni's complicated relationship with his mother who'd moved to Florida, Emma's memories of her father's garage. Normal conversation, getting to know each other. Except nothing about this was normal. At 10 p.m., Emma reluctantly said she needed to go home. Giovanni walked her to her car, kissed her goodnight with a tenderness that made her chest ache. Text me when you get home safe. I've been getting home safe for 32 years without your supervision, Emma teased. Humor me. His expression was serious. From now on, I need to know you're safe. The protectiveness should have felt controlling. Instead, Emma found it oddly comforting. Okay, I'll text. The drive home felt surreal. Emma kept replaying the evening, the confessions, the kisses, the promises. She'd just committed to a relationship with Giovanni Moretti, knowing everything it meant. She'd chosen danger over safety, chosen feeling alive over feeling numb, chosen the impossible man who made her heart race. When she got home, Emma checked on her sleeping daughter. Lily looked peaceful, clutching her stuffed rabbit, unaware that her mother had just made a choice that would change everything. Emma's phone buzzed. Giovanni, did you make it home safe? Yes. Lily's sleeping. All's well. Good. Sleep well, Emma. Dream of me. The presumptuousness made her smile. Confident, aren't you? With you? Terrified, actually, but trying to hide it behind arrogance. The honesty made Emma's chest warm. Good night, Giovanni. Good night, tesoro. Emma had to look up the Italian word. Treasure. Darling. She saved the message, then climbed into bed. Tomorrow they'd face the FBI investigation, workplace scrutiny, and all the complications. But tonight, Emma let herself feel hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, she deserved good things. That Giovanni Moretti might be one of them, even if everything else fell apart. The call came at 6:47 a.m. on a Thursday. Emma was braiding Lily's hair when her phone lit up with Giovanni's name. Emma. His voice was tight. Don't come to the office today. Stay home with Lily. Her hands stilled mid-braid. What's wrong? The FBI executed another warrant, this time at my home. They're tearing through everything. A pause, then quieter. They mentioned your name specifically, asked about our relationship. Emma's blood turned to ice. Our relationship? Giovanni, we've been careful. Someone talked. They're building a narrative, that you're complicit because we're together, that I'm using you. Lily tugged at Emma's sleeve. Mom? You stopped. Emma forced her hands to continue braiding, keeping her voice level. Who talked? I don't know yet, but Emma, they asked specifically about the night you came to my house. They know when you arrived, when you left. They've been watching me, which means they've been watching you too. Federal agents had surveillance on Giovanni's home. Had seen her arrive, stay for hours, leave looking like a woman who'd been thoroughly kissed. I have to go. Lily needs to get to school. After dropping Lily, with extra hugs that made her daughter frown with worry, Emma drove aimlessly. The FBI knew about her and Giovanni. Knew they were involved, which made her look complicit. Guilty by association and affection. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Ms. Chen, this is Special Agent Lisa Huang, FBI. We need you to come in for questioning. Today. Emma's mouth went dry. I have legal representation. This isn't optional. We have evidence suggesting you knowingly facilitated illegal shipments while engaged in a romantic relationship with Giovanni Moretti. Federal Building, downtown Newark, 2 p.m. Don't be late. Agent Huang hung up. Emma called Anthony Ricci. Don't panic, Ricci said. This is standard intimidation. But Ms. Chen, I need to know the full truth. Have you been romantically involved with Mr. Moretti? Yes, she admitted quietly. For about 3 weeks. Ricci was silent. That complicates things. But it's not illegal to date your boss. I'll meet you at the Federal Building at 1:45. Until then, don't talk to anyone. Not co-workers, not friends, especially not Mr. Moretti. Why not Giovanni? Because any communication between you two can be subpoenaed. For now, complete radio silence. Emma texted Giovanni. My lawyer says no contact. I'm sorry. His response came immediately. I understand. Emma, whatever happens, I won't let them hurt you. I promise. The Federal Building was imposing gray stone. Ricci met her outside. Remember, let me do the talking. If they ask something directly, pause. Look at me. Don't volunteer information. Simple, factual answers only. Inside, they were led to an interrogation room. Agent Rodriguez and Agent Huang sat across from them. Ms. Chen, thank you for coming in. We just have a few questions. Ricci leaned forward. My client is here voluntarily, but let's be clear. She's a low-level operations coordinator with no executive authority. Any questions beyond her specific job duties are beyond scope. Huang smiled thinly. We'll determine scope. Ms. Chen, how long have you worked for Moretti Logistics? Approximately 6 weeks, Emma answered, looking at Ricci first. And your relationship with Giovanni Moretti? When did that become romantic? Emma's stomach clenched. I don't see how that's relevant. It's extremely relevant, Rodriguez interrupted. Because we believe Mr. Moretti cultivated a personal relationship to ensure your loyalty regarding illegal operations. That's not, Emma started, but Ricci's hand stopped her. My client's personal life isn't on trial. Unless you're charging her, romantic relationships aren't evidence of criminal activity. Huang pulled out photos, surveillance images of Emma arriving at Giovanni's house, leaving hours later. We've been watching Mr. Moretti for months. You appeared 6 weeks ago, started coordinating shipments we believe are illegal, and became romantically involved. From where we sit, that looks like either complicity or manipulation. Emma's hands clenched. I coordinate schedules. I don't inspect cargo, don't determine contents, don't handle financial transactions. Your job included coordinating deliveries for clients we know are involved in smuggling, the Castellano family. You scheduled their deliveries personally. Based on information provided to me, I didn't question contents because that's not my responsibility. Convenient. Huang's voice dripped skepticism. And your relationship with Moretti? My relationship with Mr. Moretti developed naturally. It has nothing to do with my work. Really? Rodriguez opened phone records. You texted him at 11:47 p.m. saying, I'm not calling Rodriguez. I'm not leaving. That sounds like coordination. Like you discussed strategy for avoiding cooperation. Ricci intervened smoothly. My client informed her employer she wouldn't be contacting federal agents without legal counsel. That's her constitutional right, not evidence of conspiracy. The questioning continued for 2 hours. Finally, Huang leaned back. Here's what we're offering. Full immunity in exchange for testimony against Giovanni Moretti. Tell us about the illegal shipments. Help us put him away, and you walk free. The room went silent. Emma thought about Giovanni's promise to protect her. Thought about his confessions, his fierce declaration that he was falling for her. Thought about Lily's face when she'd pushed Sarah Turner. And she thought about the woman she wanted to be, not someone who saved herself by destroying others. No, Emma said clearly. I have nothing to testify about because I haven't witnessed any illegal activity. Mr. Moretti runs a legitimate logistics company. If you have evidence otherwise, pursue it without me. Huang's expression hardened. Loyalty to Giovanni Moretti will land you in prison. Then I guess that's where I'll be. Emma stood, Ricci rising beside her. Are we done here? Rodriguez stood too. Ms. Chen, he's using you. Men like Moretti always use people. When this falls apart, and it will, he'll sacrifice you. Don't go down with him. Emma met his eyes. If you're so certain you have a case, build it without coercing testimony from employees you're trying to intimidate. We're leaving. In the hallway, Ricci exhaled. That was either very brave or very stupid. Probably both, Emma admitted, hands shaking. Outside, Emma finally allowed herself to break down. The investigation was tightening. The FBI was building a case, and she'd just refused immunity to protect a man she'd known 6 weeks. Her phone buzzed. Giovanni, despite Ricci's warnings, tell me you're okay. I didn't give them anything. I know. Rodriguez called, tried to make me think you'd flipped. I told him he was wasting his time. A pause. Emma, you should have taken the immunity. Should have saved yourself. Not without you. You're going to break my heart, Emma Chen. Probably. But you're stuck with me now. Good. We'll figure this out. That night, Emma sat at her kitchen table staring at court records. Federal conspiracy charges. Sentencing guidelines. Minimum mandatory sentences. The numbers made her nauseous. Years, not months. Real prison time. Her phone rang. Giovanni's name. I thought we weren't supposed to talk. I don't care what we're supposed to do. His voice was rough, strained. Emma, I need you to know something. If they charge me, I'll plead guilty. I'll take full responsibility and make it clear you knew nothing. Giovanni, I'm serious. I won't let you go to prison for my choices. I'll burn everything down before I let them touch you. Emma's throat tightened. You can't protect me from my own choices. I stayed. I coordinated those shipments. I chose you knowing the risks. You chose me thinking I could keep you safe, Giovanni said quietly. I failed. I brought danger into your life, into Lily's life. Stop trying to be noble. We're in this together. Whatever happens, we face it together. Silence. Then, so quiet she almost missed it. I love you, Emma. I know it's too soon. No, I shouldn't say it. But if everything falls apart tomorrow, I needed you to hear it once. Emma's breath caught. 3 words that changed everything. Giovanni. You don't have to say it back. Just know it. Know that I love you, and I'll protect you with everything I have, even if it means protecting you from me. He hung up before she could respond, leaving Emma sitting in her dark kitchen with those 3 words echoing. I love you. The man she'd known 6 weeks loved her. The man under federal investigation loved her. The dangerous, complicated, impossible man loved her. And God help her, Emma realized, she loved him too. 2 weeks later, Emma sat in Ricci's office, hands trembling. They raided Giovanni's office an hour ago, took everything. And Emma, they arrested him. He's being processed now. The world went silent. What are the charges? Conspiracy to commit smuggling, wire fraud, money laundering. I need to see him. Not advisable. I don't care. Emma's voice was steel. Get me in to see him, today. 2 hours later, Emma sat separated from Giovanni by thick glass. When he was led in wearing an orange jumpsuit, their eyes met. He picked up the phone. You shouldn't be here. Neither should you. Emma's voice cracked. Giovanni, What's happening? They have enough to charge me. They're offering you immunity if you testify against me. Take it, Emma. Protect yourself and Lily. No. Emma? No, she repeated firmly. I won't testify against you. I won't give them anything that helps build their case. Giovanni's expression shifted to panic. You'll go to prison. Then we'll both go to prison. Emma leaned forward, pressing her palm against the glass. Giovanni, I love you. I'm not abandoning you to save myself. You have a daughter? Who needs her mother free, I know. Emma's mind raced. But there has to be another way, something we're not seeing. Giovanni's hand came up to match hers against the glass. There isn't. Emma, please. Take the immunity. I can survive prison knowing you and Lily are safe. I can't survive it knowing you're in here too. Before Emma could respond, the guard announced their time was up. Promise me, Giovanni said urgently. Promise you'll take the deal. I promise. Emma paused. To do what's right for everyone, including you. Back at Ricci's office, Emma paced. There has to be a way to help him. To reduce the charges or prove the business was mostly legitimate. Ricci watched her carefully. There might be, but it's risky, and it requires you to be very smart about how you testify. Emma stopped pacing. Tell me. The FBI's case assumes Giovanni ran a criminal enterprise disguised as legitimate business. But what if we prove it was the opposite? A legitimate business that occasionally facilitated questionable shipments due to pressure from his father's old associates. Keep going. You testify about Giovanni's attempts to clean up the business, the suspended shipments during the investigation, his plans to go fully legitimate. You paint a picture of a man trying to escape his father's legacy, not embrace it. Ricci leaned forward. It doesn't make him innocent, but it makes him sympathetic. Could reduce charges significantly. But I'd have to admit I knew about the illegal shipments. Yes. Which is why you'd negotiate immunity for yourself while testifying in a way that helps Giovanni's case. Ricci's smile was sharp. It's legal gymnastics, but it might work. Emma met with Rodriguez and Huang that afternoon. I'll testify, Emma said without preamble. But I want immunity, and I want to tell the whole truth, including the parts that show Giovanni Moretti was trying to legitimize his business. Rodriguez's eyes narrowed. The whole truth. Giovanni inherited a company with ties to organized crime. His father's old associates expected continued cooperation. Giovanni tried to distance the business from illegal operations while maintaining enough connection to protect his employees from retaliation. Emma spoke carefully, every word rehearsed with Ricci. The suspended shipments during your investigation? That was Giovanni cutting ties, even though it cost him 40% of revenue. So you're saying he's a victim? Huang's voice dripped skepticism. I'm saying he's a man caught between his father's legacy and his own integrity. He made bad choices, yes, but he was also actively trying to make better ones when you arrested him. After an hour of negotiation, they agreed. Emma would receive full immunity in exchange for complete testimony, but she was free to present the full context, not just the parts that helped prosecution. The trial took 3 months to prepare. Giovanni pleaded not guilty, his legal team building a defense around his attempts to legitimize Moretti Logistics. Emma's testimony became crucial for both sides. When she took the stand, Emma wore a simple navy dress and held Giovanni's eyes as she swore to tell the truth. The prosecutor went first, walking her through the color-coded client list, the special handling procedures, the shipments that bypassed normal channels. And you knew these were illegal? I suspected some clients were bypassing proper import procedures, yes. Yet you continued coordinating their shipments? Emma took a breath. Yes, because I needed the job to support my daughter. Because Giovanni assured me nothing violent or directly harmful was being shipped. And because, she looked at Giovanni, I believed he was trying to build something better. Giovanni's attorney took over on cross-examination. Ms. Chen, during your employment, did Mr. Moretti ever pressure you to participate in illegal activities? No. He specifically structured operations to keep employees like me insulated from direct knowledge. And when the FBI investigation intensified, what did Mr. Moretti do? He suspended all questionable shipments immediately, took a massive financial hit to ensure the company operated completely legally during the investigation. Does that sound like a man running a criminal enterprise? No, Emma said clearly. It sounds like a man trying to escape his father's shadow. The testimony continued for hours. Emma answered honestly about everything: the illegal shipments, her relationship with Giovanni, his protection of employees, his plans to go fully legitimate. When it was over, she stepped down, feeling like she'd given Giovanni the only gift she could, the truth of who he really was. The jury deliberated for 2 days. Emma sat in the gallery with Lily beside her, old enough now to understand her mother needed support. When the verdict came back, Emma held her breath. On the charge of conspiracy to commit smuggling, guilty. Emma's heart sank. On the charges of wire fraud and money laundering, not guilty. Giovanni's expression didn't change, but Emma saw his shoulders ease slightly. The judge spoke. Mr. Moretti, you've been found guilty of facilitating illegal imports. However, given your cooperation with authorities, your attempts to legitimize operations, and testimony regarding your efforts to escape your father's criminal legacy, I'm sentencing you to 18 months in federal prison, followed by 3 years supervised release and community service. 18 months. Not 5 years. Not a decade. 18 months. Emma's tears came fast and silent. Giovanni turned to look at her, mouthing thank you. 18 months later, Emma stood outside the federal prison in Fort Dix, New Jersey, Lily beside her holding a welcome home sign decorated with butterflies and rainbows. The doors opened at 8 a.m. sharp. Giovanni emerged in civilian clothes, carrying a single bag, looking thinner but somehow lighter. His eyes found Emma immediately. She ran to him. Giovanni caught her, arms wrapping tight as Emma buried her face in his chest. You waited, he said, voice rough with emotion. Of course I waited. Emma pulled back enough to see his face. Did you think I wouldn't? I thought you'd move on, find someone safer, simpler. I don't want safe or simple. Emma rose on her toes, kissing him like she'd been starving for 18 months. I want you. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Lily stepped forward shyly. Hi, Mr. Giovanni. Giovanni crouched down to her level. Hi, Lily. Thank you for the sign. It's beautiful. Mom said you were coming home today. She's been really excited. Lily studied him with 8-year-old seriousness. Are you going to make my mom happy? Every single day for the rest of my life, Giovanni promised. If she'll let me. Emma's hand found his. She'll let you. They drove back to Emma's apartment, larger now, in a better neighborhood, paid for with her job at a completely legitimate logistics company. But Giovanni had other plans. I have something to show you, he said as they drove past her exit. Both of you. 20 minutes later, they pulled up to a restored warehouse in Newark. The sign above the door read, Moretti Family Imports, Esternder 2025. I've been planning this for 18 months, Giovanni explained, nervous energy radiating from him. Completely legitimate importing of Italian goods, olive oil, wine, specialty foods, everything from my grandmother's region. No gray areas, no questionable clients, just honest work. He unlocked the door, revealing a clean, organized space. Shelves lined with products, an office area with new computers, shipping stations ready for operation. I used every connection I had to rebuild. Got investors who believed in the legitimate vision. Patricia signed on as operations manager. Marcus handles HR. He turned to Emma. I left one position open, waiting to see if you'd want it. Emma stared at him. You want me to work for you again? I want you to work with me, as a partner, not an employee. Giovanni pulled out legal documents. 50% ownership, full say in all operations, complete transparency. Emma, I want to build this with you. Build something we can be proud of, something Lily can be proud of. Emma's throat tightened. Giovanni, I know I'm asking a lot. Know I put you through hell and I don't deserve another chance. His voice broke slightly. But Emma, you made me want to be better. You saw something in me worth saving. Let me prove you were right. Emma looked at Lily, who was exploring the warehouse with wonder, looked at the legitimate business Giovanni had built from prison, looked at this impossible man who'd spent 18 months planning a future that included her. Yes, she said simply. Yes to the partnership. Yes to building this together. Yes to everything. Giovanni's relief was palpable. Thank you, Emma. He dropped to one knee. Emma's breath caught. I don't have a ring yet. Didn't want to presume. Giovanni's smile was nervous, hopeful. But Emma Chen, I've loved you since you stopped in the rain. Loved you through FBI investigations and prison sentences. Loved you every day for 18 months planning this future. Will you marry me? Will you let me spend the rest of my life proving I'm worthy of you and Lily? Lily gasped with excitement. Emma's tears flowed freely. Yes, Emma whispered. Then louder, yes, I'll marry you. Giovanni stood, pulling her into a kiss that tasted like second chances and new beginnings. When they broke apart, Lily was bouncing with excitement. Does this mean Giovanni's going to be my dad? Giovanni crouched down again. Only if that's okay with you. I know I can't replace your father, but I'd be honored to be a dad to you, if you'll have me. Lily threw her arms around his neck. I'd like that. Mom's been really lonely, and you make her smile. Over Lily's shoulder, Giovanni met Emma's eyes. She saw everything there, love, gratitude, hope, determination. Saw the man he'd become, the future he was offering. I love you, Giovanni mouthed. I love you too, Emma mouthed back. 6 months later, the wedding was small, just family and close friends in a garden ceremony. Patricia cried. Marcus gave Giovanni a speech about being better than his father. Sophia, Giovanni's mother, welcomed Emma with open arms and promises to teach her family recipes. Lily was the flower girl, scattering petals with serious concentration. When Giovanni and Emma exchanged vows, they promised honesty, protection, partnership. Promised to build something beautiful from the complicated beginning. I promised to stop in the rain for you, Emma said, tears streaming. Every single time. I promised to be worth stopping for, Giovanni replied, voice thick with emotion. Every single day. Their kiss as husband and wife was witnessed by everyone who'd helped them survive. Ricci, who'd protected them legally, Patricia, who'd been loyal, Mrs. Patterson, who'd cared for Lily, and Lily herself, beaming with joy. At the reception, Giovanni pulled Emma onto the dance floor. As they swayed to music, he whispered, Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for becoming the man I knew you could be. Emma whispered back, About that. Giovanni smiled nervously. I have one more surprise. He led her to a table where Lily sat coloring with crayons, but beside her was something new, adoption papers, already partially filled out. I know Lily had a father who loved her, Giovanni said carefully. I'm not trying to replace him, but I want to make it legal that I'm her dad too, if you both want that. Emma's tears came fast. Lily looked up, saw the papers, and grinned. Really? You'll really be my dad for real? For real, Giovanni confirmed. If that's okay with you. Lily launched herself at him, and Giovanni caught her, holding tight. Over her shoulder, he met Emma's eyes. This was their happy ending. Not perfect, not simple, but real. Built on truth and second chances, and the choice to stop in the rain when someone needed help. I love you, Emma said, joining the embrace. I love both of you. And we love you, Giovanni replied, one arm around his daughter, one around his wife. Forever. Outside, the sun set over Newark, painting the sky orange and gold. Inside, a family celebrated, born from impossible circumstances, built on complicated truths, cemented by the choice to love anyway. Emma had stopped in the rain for a stranger and found her future. Giovanni had been saved by a woman who saw past his father's shadow to the man he could become. And Lily gained a father who promised to protect them both with everything he had. It wasn't the love story Emma had planned. It was better, because it was theirs, complicated, hard-won, and absolutely worth every moment of the journey. If you enjoy stories like this, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. That's how I'll know you truly liked it. Even if you're watching on your TV, grab a second to join this family of fans who love emotional and heartfelt stories. Your support means everything, and it helps us bring you even more tales like this one.